Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest co-host, Lauren LaRosa, with us. And let's get in some front page news. Now, quick sports. Now, the Lions take on the Packers tonight in Green Bay at 8:15. And Damian Lillard, he was traded to the Bucks. It was a 3-team deal. What does that mean for the Bucks? I think that's great for the Bucks.
I think that's fantastic for the Bucks. You got an amazing 1-2 punch with Dame Lillard and Giannis. Mm-hmm. They still got Chris Middleton.
Middleton's led.
Malik Beasley, right?
Beasley.
I think Malik Beasley still there. I don't know. I mean, I know they're gonna be good. I know that much.
I think they're gonna be great.
I don't want to hear nobody talking to me about Taylor Swift all season in the NFL. That's what I don't care about. Okay?
You know she's going back to the game this weekend.
I know that. And
so now you care.
Why is that a story? Why is that on the back page of my New York Post this morning? I don't care about that.
They announced that.
That's so strange to me.
I don't know, but I did.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I was when I read it, they had to detail her security thing, and I was saying the thing.
Who is she, the president? They got to come sweep the building before Taylor Swift comes in.
She's freaking Taylor Swift.
And the fact that they allow that they allow them to sweep the building.
I don't know, but I know all the NFL players are being asked about meeting her and all of that. So
I'm a Cowboy fan, but guess what I'm rooting against all season long now?
Taylor Swift?
The Kansas City Chiefs and Taylor Swift.
I bet you are rooting against white women.
All right. Damn right.
Okay, guys.
Not against white women, but in the Beyonce versus Taylor debate, whose side you on,
Oh,
Lauren?
Beyonce, stop playing with me.
Okay then.
Beyonce,
Okay.
Let's get to Tess, because I could do this all day about Beyonce, Taylor Swift.
Exactly, yeah.
Let's jump right into it. Last night, Republican debate.
Yes, the Republican debate was going down last night, the 2024 presidential primary Republican debate. Now, many were watching to see who was going to call out Donald Trump. And Mike Pence, Ron DeSantis, and Chris Christie all stepped up to do it. There's a couple of different things I want to point out to you. Let's take a quick listen first at how Chris Christie came at Donald Trump.
Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight. Not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on this stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I fell asleep, but I did see some of that. I saw Ron DeSantis take a shot. And I don't know who's writing the GOP's jokes, but they got to stop.
A lot of them didn't land.
That Donald Duck joke was terrible. Yeah. Mike Pence had a terrible one, too, when he said Joe Biden shouldn't be on the picket line. He should be on the unemployment line.
They tried it out.
When I say crickets, crickets.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of crickets last night. The jokes weren't landing. Some of them did, but overall, everybody was competing to see who had the best wisecracks. And, we talked about Tuesday if they were going to ask Tim Scott about, his comments about firing the union workers. And that's exactly the first question that they threw out there. I want you to hear his response to that, and then we'll come back and talk about a couple other highlights.
Obviously, the President of the United States cannot fire anybody in the private sector. However, we should look back at the first bill in Congress under Joe Biden. The first bill had $86 billion for the union pensions because they continue to overpromise yet underdeliver. One of the challenges that we have in the current negotiations is that they want 4-day French work weeks, but more money. They want more benefits, working fewer hours. That is simply not going to stand.
Yeah, I saw that part, too, before I fell asleep. He didn't really answer the question. I guess, Tim Scott didn't want to be on record saying he's against the strike again.
Right. And then he deflected and started. He did another joke. It was all about what he needed to be doing, like you said, the little corny jokes. But he said Joe Biden shouldn't have been on the picket line. He should have been on the southern border, closing the border. But let's just put this on the record. Tim Scott's a damn lie. They're not asking, the union workers are not asking for more money and less work. So let's just first put that on the record. When people are asking for 4-day work weeks, they still work the amount of hours. It's just a shorter work week. And what they're asking for is more money, fair pay. We played this clip on Monday, how it's been over 20 years for many of these workers to even have a raise. So my thing is this, last night it was all about, let's blame it on Joe Biden. Let's blame it on all Democrats and all Republicans. These union workers have been asking for raises for the last 20 plus years. And if I recall correctly, Democrats and Republicans have all had their fair share and not taking care of these workers. So I just thought that was a real disgusting claim and not true at all.
You know what else I wanted to ask you, Ted? You think calling out Donald Trump is an effective strategy? Because I feel like if he's not there, they shouldn't even mention him, because the reality is the gap is so wide between him and everybody else. The best thing they can do is attempt to make folks, forget about him and just focus on them.
I saw a clip about that last night too.
Well, I don't know if it's effective or not, but I think you noticed the first time nobody wanted to really call him out at all except Chris Christie. And now yesterday, a few others did. And of course, Ramaswamy, he made sure he raised his hand to be able to, to defend Donald Trump. But I think it is important to be able to say, are you willing, to take a stand and walk away from that base? Nobody really wants to risk pissing that base off. So it's more or less, it may not work. The people gonna rock with Donald Trump if that's what they choose to do. But I do think it was important to see who's willing to take leadership and say, listen, we need to move away. Like you've been saying, Charlamagne, we need to move away from Donald Trump if we want to save the Republican Party. And a lot of them have just been scared to do so.
Yeah, but they did last night. If he's up 40% in the polls, right? If I'm Donald Trump, I'm not going to any of these debates. Like, why would I go? Because
he don't need to go.
Yeah, because it actually could hurt me. But if I'm one of the candidates that's going for it, ain't I going to try to put out policy to take some of those people away from Donald Trump instead of attacking Donald Trump?
They did. Well, I think last night they did a pretty good job talking about policy. Even, Ron DeSantis stepped up a little bit more. But Donald Trump was up the first time with the Republican nomination when he first ran. So it's not a matter. You don't really go to the debate because you're up or not. Donald Trump's not going to the debate because you don't want to have to answer about those 90 plus charges. That's what that's right. They have to do. It's not about polls. Polls don't vote. And I think they even pointed that. Matter of fact, Ron DeSantis pointed that out yesterday. Polls don't vote. Remember, they said Hillary Clinton was going to win. The polls said she was going to win and she lost. So I think it was important to go on record to see if you were willing to go against Donald Trump. But more than likely, he still will get the nomination.
Yeah, I thought he answered that question well, too. That's when she asked him about the numbers and the margin being so big. Because he basically was like, he gave such a hope of like, I'm not worried about Donald Trump. I don't really care. Like, I got this.
Yeah, that's all I would focus on if I was, one of those candidates. I'd focus on policy and legislation. That's right. Because Trump isn't speaking to policy and legislation. He's speaking to himself and how he's a victim and folks is out to get him.
Well, I will say that Nikki Haley did a good job talking about policy and legislation. I really do think, they did make up some of the time. The entire debate wasn't about Donald Trump. It was just a few moments where they took the opportunity to stand up against him. And a lot of Republicans don't do that. So I thought that was important.
GOP should clear the field, get rid of everybody, including Trump, and let Nikki Haley be the GOP candidate.
All right. Yeah. Well, that is front page news. Now, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa, our special guest, is here. Why you laughing, man?
Right now. And why wouldn't you say my name?
No.
Taz, what's going on?
And let's get in some
We're
front
not
page
bringing
news.
this on the air. The behind the scene conversations off the chain when you hear Lauren. That's for sure.
Yes.
Teslin Figaro is here. Let's just jump into sports. Damian Lillard, if you didn't know, he got traded to the Bucks. And also football, NFL, the Lions take on the Packers tonight at 8:15.
And the Kansas City Chiefs have signed Taylor Swift for no damn reason, and she will be attending the game this Sunday at MetLife Stadium against the Jets.
That's wild that they announced she's going to be there.
They're trying to figure out her security detail right now.
And that's insane. She's not a president. She's not an elected official. They don't need security detail.
They said she's going to be at the game like she was a quarterback injured and be like, she will be playing this week. And that's wild.
Right.
I told y'all a couple days ago.
She did. Lauren told you it was a big deal. Y'all didn't want to believe it.
She's not bigger than the NFL.
No.
Taylor Swift is not bigger than the NFL. No. Y'all can kick rocks. Okay, Taylor Swift do not have her own day.
She's not bigger than it, but they're definitely adjusted to it. It's on the paper, right? It's front page news. So.
Nah, it's just for promotion.
All right. Well, let's jump right into it. What we discussing? We starting with Trump?
Yeah, let's talk about the union. He went yesterday at the Union Auto Workers, and the lead negotiator said he wasn't feeling it. His name was Mike Booth, and he had a few words with Donald Trump. He said that he was verbal diarrhea. He said, let me be blunt. Donald Trump is coming off as a pompous a-hole, coming to Michigan to speak at a non-union employer and pretending that it has anything to do with the fight is just basically verbal diarrhea. So he didn't want to hear it. He basically said that Trump came down and pretended like he was all about the union, even though obviously he went to a location that wasn't even unionized. He asked, where are the rallies for striking workers when they were on the picket line in 2019? He said, where were the jobs that Trump promised on the campaign trail in 2015? He said, the proof is in the pudding. His actions in office went to enrich the very elite, what we were just talking about, few, while the working class of America was stagnant. He said this was basically a PR stunt to pull the wool over the working class. Now, meanwhile, Trump had a different story, and this is what he had to say when he showed up.
A vote for crooked Joe Biden is a vote for inflation, taxation, submission, and failure. That's what it is. A vote for Trump is a vote for more jobs, higher wages, and more boats, cars, trucks, and airplanes stamped, made in America and made in South Carolina.
I mean, Trump's doing what most politicians do, tell you what you want to hear on the campaign trail, but then when they get in office, they do the exact opposite or do nothing at all. I was actually, before the debate last night, they ran an ad against Trump and how Trump, his policies hurt the auto workers. You know, like they say he didn't increase the federal minimum wage. He didn't have workers' backs when he got rid of Barack Obama's move to expand overtime coverage. So that denied 8 million workers the ability to receive time and a half overtime pay. So it didn't sound like he had the workers back with his policies.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And that's what made the debate so frustrating. Because again, all of these strikes that we're seeing now, which there've been I believe I reported over 250 different strikes just this year alone. This has been bubbling up for years, so this is not just, it was just Biden. That was a theme last night. And I'm not standing up for President Joe Biden because you know how I feel about him. So this was not just about Biden. Also, Trump was a part of Democrats and Republicans have been hand in hand. When it comes to workers in this country, it's been the rich and it's been the workers, and that's the bottom line. The middle class is pretty much non-existent at this point, and that did not happen just over the last 4 years, 8 years, 10, or even 20. This has been going on for a minute, and that's why you're seeing the strikes that you're seeing.
But also, I'm not a Trump lover, but people would say that when a lot of other presidents were outsourcing work, what's his name? Donald Trump was definitely trying to get more work here and cut off work in China, cut off work in a lot of those other foreign lands to make sure that a lot of those works and those businesses breaks were here. So to keep a lot of these U.S. citizens employed. So a lot of people say that as well about Trump.
People are employed, but I
agree with that. That's a fair point. I mean, his entire policy was America first. So I definitely agree with that.
But what's real though, Tez? Like, what did he actually do? Like, it's one thing. Like, we know what he said, but what did he actually do?
Right.
Well, that comes to the receipts that you just named.
That's
right. So yeah.
All right, now let's talk about Beijing.
Yeah, quickly.
I knew he was going to say that.
Why you want to talk about the pain on your face?
I ain't talking about my beard, man.
Why you want to talk about the pain on your face?
We're talking about Joe Biden and Beijing.
Oh. Man, if Joe Biden outlawed Beijing, you in trouble. Maybe. If he banned Beijing, you in trouble.
Are you just for men, sir? But go ahead.
This is the best. So House Republicans claim to have bank wires going to Joe Biden's Delaware address. House Republicans say they have uncovered bank wires obtained by a subpoena that allegedly reveal Hunter Biden received payments originating from Beijing that listed President Joe Biden's Delaware address as the beneficiary. An announcement of Hunter Biden's attorney has denounced this. He said that it's lies to support a premise. In a statement on Tuesday, the Republican chairman of the House Oversight Committee wrote, what did the Bidens do to get this money? So Representative James Corner said that the alleged bank wire to the president's son included more than $250,000 in payments from 3 individuals in the summer of 2019. So that's just an update on that investigation. For those that ask every day, what about Hunter Biden? What about Hunter Biden? That's your update on Hunter Biden that we covered here on the Breakfast Club, that we don't give a damn. Democrats, Republicans, we cover them all across the board.
You can have money coming somewhere, though, and that doesn't mean that Biden is involved, right?
What you mean?
Like, because aren't they trying to prove that, like, this is basically people trying to prove that he's involved in his
That his father knew.
Yeah, but like, you can have stuff coming to that house. And
of course, absolutely.
Is it true that he was accepting these bank wires in Delaware under the fake name Lauren LaRosa? Is there any truth to that?
Really?
He wouldn't even have to. I would have been involved. I would have been collecting my check.
Oh.
I would have been sitting right here and been able to tell y'all.
You know, Lauren used to date Hunter Biden?
That is not true.
Lauren LaRosa is from Delaware.
I did not date no dang Hunter Biden.
Twice. She said she went out with him twice.
Did you?
No.
Because what I realized this week is you like white guys.
That's true.
Hunter's white.
Now all of a sudden you making excuses for why they was accepting this money. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just asking questions,
And
Lauren.
then Delaware.
Some things are adding up here.
Taz, what you doing today? What you got going on? Because I just cannot
You gonna lie,
entertain.
girl.
I cannot. Now I'm dating Hunter Biden.
Oh, you just
You're
said
never
it.
gonna live that down. You
All
just
right.
smoking. You never live it down.
Well, thank you, Tez.
I'll
No
never see
problem.
snow crabs the same again.
Oh, boy.
Make sure you subscribe to Tesla and Figaro's podcast, the Straight Shot No Chaser podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network, and follow at Tesla and Figaro on all social media platforms.
All right. Now, when we come back, let's open the phone lines. Where we want to go? 800-585-1051. Where y'all want to go this morning?
I enjoyed this Brittany Renner conversation.
Okay.
I
Well,
always think that's a good conversation for people because, when I saw Shannon Sharp almost spit out his drink because Brittany Renner said she slept with 35 people, I was like, wow.
but let's
Wow,
listen to the
So why?
conversation.
What is it a lie?
Yeah,
So
I
that's
was gonna say-
why what?
I was wow that he was shocked.
Well, let's listen to the
Yeah,
conversation.
I would think we're over that.
All right, so when we come back, let's open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051. Are we talking body counts this morning? Is that what we're doing?
No, we not going there.
Well, where we
Y'all
going?
can't go there.
What? What you mean?
Like, what y'all want to talk about when it comes to body count?
Well, I think body counts go both ways. I would think that if a man told a woman he had 35 bodies, she might look away. You know what I mean?
No, look away like what?
She
It's
wouldn't
probably
care.
not-
She probably would, honestly, she'd be like, okay,
That's,
cool.
that's
I want to
actually not
see
a
what
lot
the
for a
35
man, to be
people.
honest with you. Starting since
Yeah,
when?
it honestly makes, in my opinion, I feel like let me not, because they done drag me for that too. I feel like the people that
No, girl, go on and say
I
it.
feel like the
We
people I
done
have a
now, go on and say it.
conversation with would honestly be intrigued. They want to see 35. Okay, where you at with it now? It's experience.
Okay.
But it's
Yeah,
different with women.
actually, the woman known as Super Head actually did an article talking about how the experience makes you even better in the bedroom. Go look it up. She said that's men were intrigued based off her experience. So
Well, let's discuss.
is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying, Lauren? That
I was
the
saying
better
it
experience-
on the other side.
They
Men
want to see what it do.
No, well, women to men. When men hear that, they're like freaked out. They're like, "Oh my God, you're not a virgin."
Well, let's discuss. 800-585-1051. Brittany Renner said she has a body count of 35. Shannon Sharp almost spit out his drink. So let's discuss. What's your thoughts? It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.